Hey BYHYU! Welcome to episode 79 of Build Your House Yourself University. I'm Michelle Nelson, your host and fellow student, and together we'll learn the basics of home design and construction and demystify the building process so we can build quality dream homes with or without a general contractor. So this week I have an update for you on how the design for my new house is coming. This is not a mini lesson. This is more of a statement or a rant, if you will. Here's the problem. I've sent my ideas and my sketches of my house plans to two designers, two of them. We had great conversations, both over the phone and in person, and I sent them by email my ideas, pictures that I've picked out, and my sketches that I've had about how I want the house designed. It's pretty much already designed. I just need a couple of rooms moved around. And mind you, I didn't buy house plans. I sort of drew them up myself. So these are my own ideas. So the house plan is not very conventional, but it's not that outrageous anyway. So here's what's happened. When I sent the email ideas out and I sent pictures and my preliminary plan out, I did not hear back from the designers. Not one of them, but two just stopped communicating with me. Two different people. I sent the designs out. We had already agreed on the price. They looked at my ideas and they didn't contact me anymore. I texted them. I called, left messages several times for both people, and they just stopped communicating with me. So I take that as they're not interested in doing the job, which is fine. But it seems like the mature thing to do is to say, this is really not the job for me. This is going to take too much of my time. This is above my level of expertise or experience, something. But both of them just stopped communicating. The weirdest thing in the world. And it puts me in a weird headspace because I'm wondering, is there something wrong with me? Is there something wrong with my plan? Is there something that they need to tell me so that when I approach the third person, the same thing doesn't happen? But because they weren't mature enough to communicate with me, I don't know what happened. All I can do is speculate. And what I am thinking is that although my house is not really unconventional, it's not a cookie cutter house either. You don't walk in and see the dining room on the left and the living room on the right. And it's sort of, I have some new concepts, but again, they're not just totally unique. For example, I want a small foyer that you walk down and you go to the first guest bedroom in a hallway. Then you walk a little further and you go to the great room, which will be the living area, the dining area, and the kitchen. If you go a little further, you'll go to the master area where the master bedroom, closets, and bathroom will be. Probably also a home gym. Upstairs, there'll be a couple of guest bedrooms and sort of a game room area. 2 or 3 garages, and that's it. Seems pretty standard to me. The layout is a little bit different than you typically would see, but not that different. So what I plan on doing is drawing out the plan myself. I have a kind of a sketch that's very informal, but I'm going to draw it to scale on graphed paper and then hire somebody to put it into CAD, which is the computerized system that most architects or designers use. So that's my plan. Over the next couple of weeks or so, I'm going to have my go at drawing it to scale on graph paper and then hiring someone, preferably locally because they know the local codes. But if I can't get anyone to commit locally, then I'll go to a place like Fiverr or Upwork to put my plans or my ideas into CAD. It's been really frustrating. The only thing I can do is speculate. I think a lot of house designers want to take a house plan that's already drawn and make a room bigger or make the room smaller or take out a window here or change a door height there. I don't think they really want to think or think outside of the box. I think they like tweaking maybe, which is probably what designers like to do as opposed to architects. I think architects are probably much more in tune with thinking outside of the box. But as I told you earlier, the architects that I talked to were charging tens of thousands of dollars. And since I have my own ideas and I really don't need a design from scratch, I'm planning on trying a designer at least one more time after I've worked on the plan myself. So that's where we are. I'm frustrated, but I have to believe that this has happened for a reason. And I have to believe that those people weren't supposed to work on the house for whatever reason, and that someone else is supposed to do the job. I've heard that this happens kind of a lot in construction. I've heard this, that general contractors and especially subcontractors, if they're not interested in doing your job, instead of them just coming out and saying, I'm not interested in doing your job, what they will do is just not call you, not return your text messages, not return your phone calls, not show up, instead of just saying they're not interested. So I think it's kind of standard for the industry, not a good practice, but it can be a standard practice. Obviously, my judge of character wasn't that great, but neither was my husband's, because he met these people too and thought that they were good guys. And they're probably good guys, but they probably are maybe intimidated by the project or just weren't interested. Thought that maybe it would take too much time from their regular tweaking and moving walls and changing windows, which is probably easy money for them because they don't have to do much. What I've heard that happens is they take a look through their plan book, they get a plan that's close to what they think their client wants, and then they tweak those plans. I don't think that they do a whole lot of drawing plans from scratch. But I don't know. That's just my assumption because I've gotten no feedback and I just don't know. I'm not sure what the future holds, but I will let you know as things progress. Well, that's it for this week. I hope you'll join me next week for another episode of Build Your House Yourself University by BYHYU. Please remember that the purpose of this podcast is simply to educate and inform. It's not a substitute for professional advice. The information that you hear is based only on the opinions, research, and experiences of my guests and myself. That information might be incomplete, it's subject to change, and it may not apply to your project. In addition, building codes and requirements vary from region to region, so always consult a professional about specific recommendations for your home.